Hi, my name is Alice Kirby, and my chosen animal is the rhinoceros, also known as the rhino. There's 5 different species of rhinos, 3 located in Asia and 2 in Africa. For this presentation, I will be focusing on the 2 African species of rhino, the black rhino and the white rhino.
Question 1. Are these animals conscious? Are they intelligent? Do they have emotions? With how much confidence can we answer these questions? There are currently no published studies attempting to find out if rhinos are conscious, intelligent, or experience emotions, but from previous studies on other mammals, we can create models for future studies and draw possible conclusions. BBC Active produced a 3-part series of Are Animals Conscious, Do Animals Have Emotions, and Are Animals Intelligent in an attempt to answer these questions. They found that in regard to animal consciousness, it is the quality of state of self-awareness within an animal or of being aware of an external object or something within itself. There are 2 different types of consciousness, primary and secondary. Primary consciousness can be defined as simple awareness that includes perception and emotion. As such, it is ascribed to most animals. By contrast, secondary consciousness depends on and includes such features as self-reflection awareness, abstract thinking, volition, and metacognition. Animal intelligence, also known as animal cognition, is the mental capacity of animals. It has developed from the study of animal conditioning and learning and influenced by research in etiology, behavioral ecology, and evolutionary psychology. In animals is the subjective feelings and emotions experienced by non-human animals. Emotions may be described as subjective, conscious experiences characterized primarily by psychophysiological expressions, biological reactions, and mental states. A possible example of a rhino cognition and consciousness that would be an excellent starting point for studies is that African rhinos are found to visit the same watering hole every day around the same time, displaying the ability of awareness of one's surroundings. In regards to emotion, rhinos have been found to travel together in groups, and when members of the herd leave the group, they do not leave alone, generally traveling in groups of 2 to 3. Rhinos also share a protective and strong bond with their young, which stay with their mother until 2 to 3 years, and sometimes never leave the herd. Rhinos also roll in mud to protect themselves from bugs and as a natural sunblock. These could be an example of consciousness and intelligence. Rhinos also often have an oxpecker bird which will sit on a rhino's back and eat the bugs that crawl on the rhino's skin. When danger approaches, the bird will call out, warning the rhino. It has also been found that when rhinos are happy, they make a loud wonk sound with their mouths. Although none of this is concrete information to definitely say if rhinos do or do not experience consciousness, emotions, and intelligence, it is a starting point to find out if they do. Question 2. Are these animals perceived and treated differently by different cultural groups? What psychological factors might cause this to happen? The African rhino is perceived and treated differently by different cultural groups. A paper by Boyens and van der Rijs details that in African cultures, rhinos are perceived as a symbol of power, danger, and protection traditionally associated with African leadership. They hold a great cultural and symbolic significance to African cultures. In Western society, African rhinos are viewed in different ways. Some people believe strongly in the conservation of these animals and believe they should not be poached or hunted as game, and that we should do all in our power to protect these animals. Others think it is okay to hunt these animals for game, sometimes paying huge amounts of up to $150,000 to be able to kill a rhino in Africa. Lastly, there are people in Western society that don't have an opinion here or there. In Asian cultures, rhinos are generally only valued for their horns. Rhinoceros horns are used in traditional Asian medicine, especially traditional Chinese medicine, which considers the horn an effective and even life-saving medicine. Rhino horns consist of keratin, the same thing as hair and nails, and its medicinal use has been disproved comparing it to ingesting human nail clippings. Its practice still runs strong in Asian cultures, though. All of these cultural groups generally tend to hold these views as an intrinsic part of life and their cultural background. This is influenced by the theory of planned behaviour. Some, however, like the extreme conservationists, have done much more research and made an expression of their value system through this. Question 3. Do these animals place humans at risk in some way? How? According to the World Wildlife Fund and the African Wildlife Foundation, rhinos only pose a risk to humans when they feel they are in danger. The rhino does not have very good vision, so they cannot make out the difference between humans and other animals. They rely strongly on their sense of smell. When a rhino feels threatened in the wild or captivity, they charge towards what they perceive as a threat in an attempt to protect themselves and their young. Due to their large size and enormous strength, they are able to cause great damage and often death if a human is caught in their path. Rhinos are herbivores, so when attacking, it is only a defense mechanism, not a hunting one. When left alone in their own habitat undisturbed, rhinos do not pose any threat to humans. In reality, humans pose more risk on rhinos by means of poaching and population expansion into their habitats. An unusual way rhinos place humans at risk is from ingesting a rhino horn that has been infused with poison. In 2011, the Rhino Rescue Project began a horn trade control method consisting of infusing the horns while on the animal with a mixture of a pink dye and a acaricide to kill ticks, which is safe for rhinos but toxic to humans. Because of the fibrous nature of rhino horn, the pressurized dye infuses to the interior of the horn but does not color the surface or affect rhino behavior. The acaricide is expected to cause nausea, stomach ache, and diarrhea, or convulsions for anyone consuming the horn in traditional Chinese medicine, depending on the quantity, but would not be fatal. The primary deterrent being the knowledge that the treatment has been applied, communicated by signs posted at the refuges. It was claimed that the dye cannot be successfully removed from horns and would remain visible on X-ray scanners even when the horn is ground to a fine powder.